Real quick trigger warnings, this video includes topics of suicide, self-harm, sexual abuse, mental abuse, isolation, sexual topics, pornography, and child abuse. Viewer discretion is advised. Greetings! My name is ThinkCakes. I go by Think or Cakes. This video is quite different compared to my others, as I don't normally do storytime/commentary at all. But the document I have on the situation is over 120 plus pages, and I realize that not a lot of people have the time for that. I find it easier to sit through someone, especially one of the victims, talk about the situation. So I suggest pausing to read any screenshots. First up, to the regular viewer, this situation is very sensitive. All the proof will be linked in the documents below. This video is not monetized, as I don't know how, and nor do I want to monetize something like this. Please keep the disclaimers stated earlier in mind. On top of that, I'd like to tell anyone who may be in the community that this takes place from and/or knows the person or people involved to not harass anyone. I do not condone harassment. I do not wish for anyone to be harassed either. Second, to the people this is about. I know you guys still look at my YouTube. You guys refuse to leave me alone and still refuse to. But you want me to leave you alone when I'm just simply telling my story and speaking my side with monuments of proof? I know you guys will never realize what you did wrong. I've explained it so many times, but yet you still choose to try to cover it up. I am not going to stay silent. Third, to the artists listening to this, I know you all love some nice background noise, so buckle up. Get some hydration juice and get to work, as this is going to be a long one. This story is going to be more into detail of how the entire thing affected me mentally and physically, as I'm going to try to make it more of a story time that hopefully can speak to others in a similar spot. With a little bit of commentary mixed in with the screenshots I have. Though there is a few things I will bring up that do not have screenshots, as it happened in VR chat or in a voice call. I'm not sure if I'll make a habit out of doing story times, but we'll see if anything else I want to talk about comes up. Quick introduction for everyone involved. I'm ThinkCakes, Thinks or Cakes, but sometimes I'm called Cake Bob here. I don't like that name, don't call me that name. This situation has caused that name to be extremely triggering. I go by they, them pronouns. I'm one of the main victims, or the most vocal one. At the time of all this happening, I was 14, only turning 15 after I left their group. The person that is behind all of this is JovoB, or JB. They exhibit very abusive behavior throughout all this. They are 17, but near the start of our interactions, they were 16. But that was only for a short period of time. I'm pretty sure his pronouns are he, they, last time I checked. So I'll be calling him by those pronouns. If these are wrong, I'm sorry. I do not mean this to be, transphobic or anything. That's just what I remember. Then there's eyes. I am unsure of their pronouns, so I'm gonna use they, them for them.
Editor Cakes here. He goes by he, him. I just found out. Sorry.
They are a part of JB's close friend group alongside Gorey, which drew a lot of weird art and encouraged sexual art as well. Eyes was 16 at the time. I'm not sure, but that's what I've heard. And Gorey was 15 at the time. Gorey goes by they, them. Gorey has been the main aggressor when it comes to after I left the phightverse, often acting on the behalf of JB and defending them with every dying breath. Then there is also Wubr. I won't speak too much, but he goes by he, him, as far as I know. And also made weird 3D models of my OCs and others. Also, we can't forget Ghosty. This guy, I have a lot to talk about, so I'll explain them here before we head in. He goes by he, him, and were close friends with me, then we stopped being friends afterwards, but we'll get into that. This is going to be in chronological order. I'll give dates where I can. So, I met JovoB or JB on April 20th, 2024, which was when they invited me to the phightverse. We met through a fighting get-together. Fighting is a Roblox game, it's pretty fun, check it out, where people got to show off their OCs. My character, Syringe, immediately caught the eye of a lot of people there. They asked me to join after that, which I did. Keep in mind, before this, I was distancing myself from another group with all my friends in it, called The Infinity, which sent a lot of false grooming and pedophilia allegations. All my friends were either a part of The Infinity or migrated over to the phightverse with me. So, therefore, all my friends were affiliated with the Infinity or the Phightverse with me. I was quickly given a moderator position in Phightverse, and oh boy, there were a lot of sexual and sexualization all around the Phightverse. JB would often draw sexual art of people's OCs, going well into them being 17, along with them encouraging people around them to draw sexual art.
Uncensored photos of all these will be in the document below, the 18 plus document, with even more proof of it, as I cannot fit it into this video. Here's also the screenshots of them encouraging me to draw sexual art whenever I was 14. They were 17. You can see here I'm not all too thrilled about it.
But sadly, this isn't the only sexual stuff they do. We would often have roleplays with our fighting OCs, as Wubr was an avatar creator that would take Robux commissions to create avatars for us. There were also text art beats, which is where JB would start shipping Syringe with their OC, Catshot. Catshot scooped Syringe up in a bridal way, and Syringe got flustered. JB would take this as an okay for them to ship Syringe and Catshot, even though Syringe was and always will be Arrow A's. The text RPs were okay. They weren't too bad, but I wish I could get screenshots of these, but I can't since JB deleted all the RP channels after I left, so even when I tried to get the screenshots, I couldn't. All of the worst roleplays were in VR chat though. These RPs consisted of shipping Syringe and Catshot all the time, putting Syringe on a collar, giving Syringe a suggested body pillow of Catshot, using the collar to put Syringe on a bed, and it only got worse after JB made a version of my OC Syringe called Cutie Syringe. This version was extremely sexualized, and almost immediately Wubr turned it into an avatar. I did not pay for the avatar or give anything in return. I don't even think Wubr told me they were making the avatar. The second it was an avatar though, JB would be in the avatar all the time and say very sexual stuff in it, along with putting me in sexual situations if I would even get in the avatar. I was encouraged to participate in these sexual situations, encouraged to draw sexual art of my OC. They made rape jokes of my OC Syringe.
So I don't necessarily have proof for this part because it all happened in voice call, but I asked my friend who was there in voice call about it, and here's what they had to say about it. Take this with a grain of salt because there isn't much evidence, but I just wanted to put this in here because it is something I vividly remember.
Sexual animations of my OC. I remember two of these animations, one of them being from the song Shoulder Borders by S3RL. And the one that was a lot more traumatizing, Rabbit Hole by Deco27. This animation took me 40 days and consisted of my OC dancing on a pole, suggestive poses, and suggestive actions. Towards the end of making this animation, where it got more sexual, so did JB. Whenever I wanted to do something, they would exercise control over me, whether it be if I could put on a song or just wanted to hang out with them. If they didn't like the song, I couldn't put it on. If my avatar isn't one of the fighting OCs, I couldn't hang out with them. They broke me down to a dog. Someone who would sit for them, to someone who would do any tricks they wanted, simply just for the treat of being able to be treated like a normal person. They dehumanized me. They made me feel like a toy, like a worthless piece of garbage. So, the comb, I cut. I cut for days on end, and I'd work on the seconding animation and start cutting because of it. I couldn't handle it. They reduced me to a toy. I couldn't tell my family because they take my box cutter. I lost all of my friends because I left the Infinity. They slandered my only friend that was outside of the Phightverse, bold, to me telling me not to be around them. And the one person I thought I could trust, Ghosty, would downplay it. They would say it wasn't a big deal. This cutting only got worse as the pornography incident sprung up. The pornography incident all started whenever a friend of mine, who was in the phightverse with me, invited me to a private instance. This person was 14. They told me they were in a phightverse group plus instance. Anyone in the group or friends of people in the group could join, and saw pornographic drawings, full-on porn, not just suggestive, just straight up porn. The reason they came to me about it, and no one else, was because they were scared of JB and the others around them. But they weren't scared of me since I normally handled the more community side of everything. When they told me, I got prepared for when JB got online. And once they got on, I confronted them. JB's response will always be burnt into my brain. Not for being vile, not for being absolutely reprehensible, but for the sheer stupidity of the response being, "It's 2024, I think, Cakes," in the most condescending tone I've ever had the displeasure of hearing. That day marked the beginning of the end for them. The confrontation ended briefly afterwards, and soon Ghosty joined and said they'd handle it. I was practically forced to apologize for how I handled it, and they got even more abusive after that. The only time they had me around was when I drew something sexual for them. But soon, the bubble would burst. On August 7th, 2024, I had an argument with Ghosty, where Ghosty kept downplaying JB's actions, saying it was blown out of proportion and not a big deal. It broke me. I remember cutting in the middle of the conversation, seeing the blood dripping from the box cutter. Then, I had a thought that shook me to my core. I was considering slitting my wrists. I panicked. I turned off the headset and ran to my mom, asking to talk to her in private. August 7th, 2024. The day I got clean. The day I left the phightverse. I showed my mom the scars, and, as expected, she took away my box cutter, along with everything sharp in my room. Though, originally, it was hard. I couldn't have gotten clean if it weren't for her. She didn't yell, she emphasized, and worked on getting me what I needed to keep pushing. Self-harm isn't an easy thing to get clean from. Once you start, it's so damn difficult to stop. The reason self-harm feels so good is when you are hurt, adrenaline gets pumped into your brain and releases dopamine. But it's also the reason it's hard to quit. Once you get that dopamine, you keep chasing it, but the more you cut, the harder it is to get that dopamine. So you cut more and more and more, just to get that high again. It's addictive, but it's hard to know that unless you've gone through it yourself. But you're not alone. Self-harm isn't the answer. Sure, it feels good, but in the end, you'll just end up with a shit ton of scars and your depression. No dopamine doesn't stop the pain, it makes you seek it. Now, you'd hope that after I left, they would have left me alone. But anyone who has been in an abusive relationship knows that that's not how it goes. They almost always try to get you back or silence you. They did the latter. Right after I left them, I tried to avoid any mentions or topics of them, since it would send me into a spiral. The only time I ever talked about them was me venting to my friends. One of my friends, being Hammer, got angry and lashed out, as they were in the group themselves. Gorey afterwards went to my DMs. They were angry at me. Here are the screenshots, and I'll read them out as well.
Cakes, we have something to talk about. Answer whenever you can.
What's up?
What's all of this and you restarting the whole JB drama? Please be genuine and tell the truth. I need to know both sides.
What? I'm so confused.
Cakes, there's drama spreading like a wildfire about the whole NSFW thing. Tell me about it. I know about it, don't try to lie.
I haven't talked about the NSFW thing in forever. I'm past that. The only thing I've talked about regarding JB is just from other people venting to me.
Be truthful. This is your genuine last chance. Please, I'm being so dead fucking honest.
I am being honest. I haven't talked about the NSFW thing in forever. I've specifically been telling Random and their friend group to stop.
Random's friends are up to this? And him?
I don't fucking know. I haven't had anything to do with this shit in forever. I've specifically been distancing myself from this shit since it makes me stressed to the point of self-harming, dude.
Okay, just try to calm down. I'll be taking this to Ram to get his side.
Gorey, don't do this type of shit to me, dude.
Doing what? Talking to Random?
No, interrogating me like I'm a fucking criminal, accusing me of lying nonstop and rubbing me back into this drama.
I'm not trying to, and I'm sorry it seems like that. I just tend to investigate people like this. I'm not accusing you currently, it's just that's the entire thing I've been told.
I left the phightverse for a reason. This shit stresses me the fuck out, man.
I would still love to stay friends even with this. I just really need to get this entire situation under control. It's progressed long enough. Understandable. If you know anything else, please tell me anything I need to know.
These screenshots anger me looking back at them with all the context. They automatically go into this calling me a liar by expecting me not to be truthful, while not allowing me to get a chance to explain. They are looking for an answer that will suit their case, not for the truth. This is followed up with them jumping at the opportunity to blame my friend Random, an openly honest person, about what they did, which causes them to be seen as an antagonist to JB and their lapdogs. Obviously, the situation was just stupid, but it sure as hell is a showcase of them grasping at straws to villainize me.
Afterwards, Gorey did apologize for this, which I appreciate. Here's those screenshots. And I've also realized in this situation I could have handled it better, but that's in the past.
And in this next case, you'll see how much they try to villainize me. This situation spurred on from a public lobby. I was hanging out with my friends, including Bolt, Random Sentient, and someone I will just call Zach. Zach recently struggled with suicidal thoughts due to JB, and wanted some closure. JB responded coldly with, "What does that have to do with me?" after Jack explained what it had to do with them, which spurred on a huge fight with Random Sentience and Bolt, yelling at JB over it. I was sitting in the corner avoiding them, as this was around the time I didn't want to be around them at all, so I don't know the extent of what was going on, until later on. JB and Gorey were then kicked from the instance. They refused to leave themselves. Gorey then told my friend Vixen that I harassed them, which prompted Vixen to unfriend me and block me. Hammer informed me and asked Vixen to unblock me, so we could chat. After that, I went to Gorey calmly to try to sort things out. Here are those screenshots.
Hey, why am I being told that Vixen unfriended me because I harassed you? I thought we were on good terms, and I've been actively avoiding even interacting with JB and their close knit of friends.
I never said that. I said that Sentience and Solar were harassing me. I just said you did nothing to help.
I was with my friends in the corner, trying not to focus on that shit since it's stressful. I didn't even know what they were doing, to be honest.
I know, and I don't blame you for it, but since you really didn't do anything, you're still held accountable in some manner. But I'm too stressed to even think about that right now. I'm pretty sure Vixen either killed himself or passed out. Insults, making fun of, cussing us out. I've been one bad trip away from blowing my head off. Thank God there's no guns in my house.
Thank God, we don't need anyone dying because of this. Is Vixen okay? Do you know? And if they don't care about me anymore, I still care about them. Are they okay?
He does care, and he isn't responsive.
Shit.
Ever since Hammer yelled at him, he told me he felt like he was going to have a seizure, then stopped responding. It fucked him up, reminded him of his stepdad.
Hammer can come off as yelling easily. I'm sure he didn't mean to sound like yelling, but I can understand how that would trigger Vixen. I really hope Vixen is okay.
I hope so too, as I've been way too close over the edge due to this shit myself. I care for you things, but shit man, you could have done something.
I didn't even know what was going on, and I didn't want to relapse either.
As I said, yelling, mocking, taunting, he brought my own friend against me to join too. You know how hard it is for someone you trusted and comforted just to tell you to kill yourself? Not in no joke way, like genuine hatred.
I get it. I don't condone the harassment, and I even talked to Random about it, and they understand what they did wrong. I don't condone telling people to kill themselves at all, and I understand how it hurts. I've been through stuff similar. I'll talk to Solar about it later too.
They won't learn. Sentience is too hard-headed to listen to things for long. They built an entire community just to, what? Steal our characters? And mock us non-stop? Likely?
I'm confused on that stuff. I don't know what you are talking about there, but I've told them on multiple counts to stop. They have issues with understanding what's too much and too far. I'm trying to help them understand better so stuff like this doesn't happen.
And when I tried to resolve it with Zach that day, Solar kicked me out. She thrives on drama and didn't want it to all end so fast.
Solar does want the drama to end. Trust me, she's seen how much the drama affected me, and I think she was caught up in the moment.
I know you're a tribe, but I can't even go in a public lobby without losing my shit.
I get it. I've had a similar experience. I want all of this to end. Trust me. I'm not excusing what they did. I think they went way too far.
This affected us horribly. If you want it to end, control your friends, as every single piece of fucking drama they bring up already has been solved. And they've been doing nothing but just starting rumors now. I don't know how much clearer I can explain every bit of drama. It's a shit show, Cakes.
I know. I'm trying, Gorey, but I can't just tell them to behave like dogs. They are separate people with separate thoughts. I can't control all their actions.
I know that, but it's just the fact that you were there and you didn't do anything, and it rubbed me off the wrong way. If you want to stay separate from whatever they do, just for the love of God, leave the instance.
I couldn't leave the instance. All my friends were there, and I didn't even know the full extent in the moment. All I knew is they were talking to y'all.
Yeah.
If I knew that it was harassment, yes, I would have done more.
It's fine, just whatever you can do is greatly appreciated. And when I'm in a better mental state to actually think, I'll see if we can be friends again. I just felt very betrayed after all, that by not one but two people. I hope you do good, Cakes. You're a good person, just surrounded by bad people.
I get it. Just take it easy. It's a rough situation. I'll talk to Random again and I'll talk to Solar. Just tell me if there's more info on Vixen, if you get any.
I will. Vixen will likely forgive you two. After all this, if he's still okay. Now that we have context for everything. Really helps. Also, Hammer isn't the best thing to get information from sometimes.
I knew I'd have to clear stuff up. Otherwise, this wouldn't get solved. I hate all this shit. Trust me. It's affected me in ways that cannot be reversed.
He blamed you for starting the NSFW drama again. When
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, I'm still sorry about that.
It's fine, I'm slowly getting past that. It's just hard due to the memory loss I've been experiencing. I'll talk to Hammer later anyway.
You should. He really fucked Vixen up. He was a mess. He could barely type.
I don't doubt it. I know Hammer didn't mean to, but knowing Vixen, I believe it. I really hope he's okay.
I hope too. Is there anything else you need before I take a break from social interaction?
I think everyone was caught up due to the recent suicide attempt of Zach that was spurred on from the stress of this drama shit show. I know Solar definitely was after hearing me cry about it, so I think Zach was trying to get closure. But Solar and Random took that shit from 1 to 100 and started going on to full-blown harassment. I'll talk to those two, don't worry. I'll try to get everything I can cleared up, but go take care of yourself in the meantime. Tell me if you hear back from Vixen.
I will, and just so you know, I'm not going to be able to find it to be able to forgive Sentience and Solar. I don't want any interactions with them.
That's fine. You don't need to. Feel free to block them. I think it's best for everyone. Alright, thanks.
Have a nice day, Cake Pop.
As you can see, they are trying to make Hammer seem like a villain here, alongside villainizing me. Here are the screenshots from Hammer's side, where they try to make me seem like a horrible person to Hammer.
I need to call you.
I'm in school. We can chat. I need to talk to you.
Go on.
You know, Vixen really loved your company, and you're going to yell at him for something he chose to do. Sorry you're close to things, but if they were doing nothing to help with the ongoing drama while they were there, it really shows how less they care about their friends. As if they cared, they wouldn't have pulled that shit. But with you, you're so fucking immature and nothing but a sad excuse for someone who's trying to do something with their life. You yelled at Vix for what? You don't deserve to have no fucking VR kids or kids when you grow up.
I wanted to help.
If you don't know the drama, I can sum it up to harassment. And if that's not a good enough reason to block someone, I don't know what it is.
Fuck no. I'm not some person to do that.
I never said about you blocking him. I'm talking about you being a bitch about him blocking ThinkCakes. I don't know the full context, but if you're making Vixen this fucking upset, I think I could sum it up real nice. You're not only an ass to your kids, you shit-talk them. You degrade them. You do all this shit for what? For someone trying to act like an adult, you're one of the most immature people I've met. I know you're going through some shit, but so am I. But you don't see me trying to be a bitch to everyone I know.
I haven't seen you much.
I know you haven't.
Exactly. Specify on being a bitch.
I know enough about you to know how you are. Oh, I can call you bitch if you yell that to my friends. I think that's a good enough reason to call you one. Don't see what that has to do with that, but also turn a friend against me.
Who did I turn?
I'm not saying you, I'm saying them. But anyways, back to the point.
You type quick.
If Vixen decides he isn't going to cut contact with you if you pull this shit ever again, I swear to God, I won't hesitate having another chat with you. You have no awareness for any shitty actions you fucking do.
If he does cut contact, then tell him straight he was an amazing kid.
And you were a shitty father.
He's been lying about calling me a good father, or is he caught up in the moment? It depends. You think almost 5 months of care from me and my wife have been for naught?
He hasn't been. He sees you as the best father ever, but all you do is hurt him.
How have I harmed him? Name something.
You yelled at him. You don't know how much that can fuck with someone like him?
Yelled. Fucking yelled? I sternly talked. If I yelled, he would be worse. I don't like yelling, and Vixen is an exception to that.
Sure. He said yelled. I'm taking his word.
I know he cared for me. Why would I let that all go? Tell me, why would a father actively hurt his child?
You sure hurt multiple others.
Like who? Name them. I would like to know and see if I can reconsider their opinions.
I ain't in the know of all your fucking kids. I'm juggling talking for 4 other people right now.
One at a time.
But you don't seem to regard most people's emotions well. Nor do you seem to be listening to me as well. We can pick this up later. I need a break before I turn into an alcoholic at my age.
This seems like an attempt to make us turn on each other. After that, I went on VR and talked with them about it. Ferrofluid was one of the moderators that had beef with Bolt, and they said it was either Ferrofluid or JB who would also be there alongside Gorey. I had to take one for the team and talk with JB there. I thought we had everything sorted out after that, but they just couldn't let it go and slandered me to one of their friends called Chronic. Chronic then spread around in multiple servers that me, Bolt, and Random Sentience were a harassment group. Here's proof of that.
Oh my god.
Sup?
I'm so confused.
Well, that's what I'm here for.
Who?
I'm ThinkCakes from here. I'm friends with Bolt and Random Sentience.
Ooh, MK. I got no beef with anyone, by the way. Just kind of spreading awareness, I guess.
I understand. To be honest, nobody has beef with Chronic either. Chronic actually is the one perpetuating this. I'll explain all of this, don't worry.
I got no bias for or against anyone.
I assume this is referring to a recent situation we had regarding some past drama that was fucked with rage and a lot of pent-up feelings. I solved the entire situation and all the drama with that situation is solved.
For the record, I think Chronic is pretty chill, be it a bit rude sometimes, but they're not like go out and piss people off rude. Give off more, I don't give a fuck, especially about kids kind of vibes.
And Chronic knows Solar from years ago, when Solar was a lot different. Solar has changed a lot since then, but Chronic hasn't dropped that from what I heard. Solar doesn't host hate campaigns. It was simply just Solar going a bit too far recently. And all of it is situated.
Okay.
I can get proof if you wish. Solar is willing to provide.
Meh, I'm not the person who needs an explanation, but Chronic doesn't really ever unblock people.
Yeah, I can tell. They immediately banned Solar from an instance as soon as they joined it, so...
And I'm not really interested into getting beef with someone who is actually pretty cool, in my opinion. But I don't hang out with them often. We only really talk in her server. Gah!
Yeah, I understand that. I've known Solar for a while now, and they're a pretty chill guy. If you have any issues, bring it up with them, and they will solve it. They have changed a lot since the older days.
This situation was the last straw for me. I realized they weren't going to leave me alone, so I fought back for once. I spread around my story. 2 Google documents, a 13+1 and an 18+1, showing proof and my feelings on the situation. Both will be linked below. I would now like to add some separate section for each individual aligned with JB in this situation. Going from least damaging to most damaging, JB's full in-depth at the end. Eyes plus Wubr. I'm putting these two together because even though they did cause some harm, it pales in comparison to the rest of these people. These two both participated in drawing/modeling sexual things of my characters and other minors' characters without permission, but that's the extent of it. Eyes made a drawing of Rhino Sentience's OC pregnant without permission. This drawing was made as a part of an art trade, the art trade being with Gorey. Wubr created sexual models that turned into VR chat avatars, creating a buffed naked character without genitalia and sharing it in the server without censorship, alongside making an avatar of Cutie Syringe, the overly sexualized version of Syringe, without my permission. That's all for these two though. Ghosty. I would like to preface this by saying Ghosty has since cut ties with JB, which I support. But that does not change the actions they participated in. I believe they should be held accountable for. Ghosty is not a pedophile, or ever drawn anything explicit, but they were complicit with the abuse I experienced and downplayed it. Here are the messages I had with Ghosty that show that.
What's this about?
Multiple people keep coming to me about the doc and a couple other stuff. At this point, I want it to die. It's annoying and nobody needs to hear it. And I'd put my money that is specifically because I'm being a phightverse voice actor.
I think a lot of people need to hear it. JB is an abuser. I specifically put in the document not to go harass anyone. I'm not gonna let myself be silenced. JB shouldn't get away with what they did to me. They shouldn't get away with abusing me.
I don't care if they do or don't. Leave me out of it.
You barely have any part in the document. I don't think it's my fault you are being questioned.
I'm not blaming you. I just stated that I'm annoyed because I'm not being left out of it.
You are left out of it though. I don't even talk to anyone about you regarding the phightverse.
And the people still come to me about the drama. Every motherfucker in a fighting instance have been and bothers me about it.
I don't know why, dude.
I know you don't. I'm just venting in my status about it.
I'm just asking you about it, as the status makes it look like you're defending JB.
I'm not defending anyone. I remain true to myself and staying in the middle because it has nothing to do with me.
I'm just saying, the way you worded it made it seem like you were. So I wanted to ask you about it since multiple people came to me about it.
I mean, kinda, not gonna lie. I got over it already. Not gonna lie, they've been coming to me about the drama and stuff, and I actually decided to listen. This is why I believe in direct communication.
I understand. That's why I came to you about this.
They told me that they didn't want me to continue talking to any of you.
They said the same to Blank.
Not to you, him, or Solar, because they're still friends with me or whatever.
In my opinion, the only reason they don't want you or Blank friends with me is because they know I have proof of everything.
I respect your opinion, but I think you're mistaken. I told them I wasn't going to stop talking to you, and they agreed. If you having proof was the problem, I figured they'd argue about it.
Well, whatever it is, I find it ridiculous that they are going after people who are simply friends of mine just because I told the truth.
Not specifically you, they're talking about your entire group. Him kinda just agrees with you constantly, and Sola can be a dick sometimes. So I understand completely. Plus, Sola has harassed them multiple times. I've witnessed them myself.
Hemlock literally has nothing to do with this. They are just friends with me. Solar, I kinda understand.
Well, yeah, but you hear Hemlock talk shit any remote time phightverse is mentioned. Kinda a lot for someone who's not involved, right? And honestly, I would confront them about it and stuff. But if I have happened over an avatar to go off, I'd take my chances with JB because at least they would listen.
Hemlock is just angry at them for abusing me, which I completely get. They have seen me having multiple mental breakdowns over what they did to me.
Yeah, true. I guess that makes more sense. But dissing the people who mention it isn't fair, especially if they're actually to resolve the drama. Which, the only person I met that tries to keep an open mind about it is Blank and sometimes you.
I'm just saying, Hemlock doesn't want any of this, and isn't involved. People shouldn't be coming to her about it.
Not a single soul came to her. They ironically entered my conversation about it. That's my point here. They should mind their business if they don't want to be involved. Makes sense, doesn't it?
Yeah, it makes sense. I can't really say anything on Hemlock's behalf, though, about this.
To be fair, though, honestly, there's probably a reason, but I don't know, so I can only assume for.
I just think Hemlock is upset towards JB and the phightverse after everything they've done to me.
And honestly, with what you told them, I wouldn't blame them.
Hopefully this helps out some more. I still think Hemlock should know about your feelings, so I'm gonna talk to them on this topic so it goes down smoother.
Thank you.
I may not agree with all your choices, but you're still my friend. I don't want any harm to be caused towards you. Hey, sorry for talking to you about this again, but it's been on my mind ever since our last conversation, and I can't keep bottling this up. Even though you don't say you are defending JB, you have been actively defending them, giving them excuses and excusing their behavior while chastising me, Bolt, and Hemlock for far less. It's really difficult to trust you now. I'd like to iterate that I don't care if you are friends with JB. I care at the fact that you keep excusing the 5 months of sexual and mental abuse they put me through, and the act of saying you aren't defending them while your actions say the exact opposite. I want to believe you mean well. I want to stay friends, but I find it very difficult when you severely downplay my experiences and their actions, how badly it has affected me, even though I have 110 plus pages of screenshots and evidence. I can't keep bottling this up anymore. I'm sorry. It seems like you just care about JB a lot more than you care about me, especially after the last conversation, how you made constant jabs towards me, Bolt, and Hemlock while you defended JB and excused their actions.
You misunderstood my point. I apologize regardless, but I think you misunderstood. You see, for starters, I don't really care about Hem or Bolt. To be honest, the only real reason why I'm still friends with them is usually because of you. But the point I was driving was that some of your points may be extremely excusable, not to mention that we are on VR chat, and most of the groups are minors. Not saying I agree or not, because at the end of the day, why should I care? And don't worry, it's mutual. JB dragged me into it a little longer ago. They talked to me about it, and I told them points while disproving others. And just like them, not gonna lie, I tolerate their group a little more, because at least I can have a normal conversation. The only person I usually have a normal convo with is you. If you don't trust me, that's completely fine. Go on about your day and pursue your goals. And I'll try to refund you after you and JB decide to let bygones be bygones. JB is ready to let it die. I don't know about you, but regardless, I just won't talk to either of you. I won't block you or anything, but don't expect any replies more than usual.
I can't let bygones be bygones. That's the thing. JB committed a crime. JB abused me. It isn't just some drama, it's full-on abuse. JB has done something unforgivable, and I have proof of it all. He is almost 18. What he did is inexcusable and unforgivable. He never apologized, and he never wanted to. He just wants it to blow over, but it shouldn't, and it won't. He doesn't deserve to not have any repercussions for what he did.
Well, regardless, my opinion stays. Good luck, I guess.
Before we go our separate ways, I suggest you try to separate yourself from this drama. I really don't want to have to update the document with all of this.
My name is already in it, plus JB's adding mines and theirs. I don't think it's in my hands anymore. I'll state this again. If all this blows over, feel free to get in contact again. I'm willing to listen.
I don't think we can, Ghosty. You've proven you won't listen. You've proven you keep choosing their side, as much as you say you don't. I've explained it to you so many times, and you were there for a lot of it, yet you still chose JB's side because they are fun to hang out with.
I haven't picked my side yet. I wasn't there for half of the doc, let alone some of the stuff you assume I was in. And if anything, I didn't choose JB's side because they're fun to hang out with. Because that's not a good reason. JB's group mentions a lot of things, not to mention Bolt's harassment. If anything, I feel pity. If this keeps going, chances are they are never going to have a future. There's people who committed actual crimes, and even some of those people can get redeemed, and yet that doesn't matter anymore. If you don't want to talk about this in the future, then sure, that's your choice. I'm not going to sit here and whine about it. I'll admit, though, I definitely enjoyed our friendship. Every single second. I don't regret it, and never will.
You keep saying you don't pick sides, then immediately after defend JB. JB did commit an actual crime. JB did hurt people. JB doesn't care about what they did. They just wanted to end without admitting to it. I'm not even the only victim. I've been reached out to by multiple victims. Bolt harassing them is minuscule in compared to what they did. They abused people. They shared porn with minors. They are 17 dating a 15-year-old. I don't know why you can't see what's right in front of you, Ghosty.
I'm not even gonna try debating you on this. You don't view things the same way, so I'm not bothering. Block me if you want. I don't care anymore. Good day.
After our falling out, they were being pretty petty about it, which it would be whatever. If it weren't for the fact they put their profile banner as this. This is a photo from an inappropriate RP I was coerced into. It was a ship RP regarding the ship between Cutie Syringe and Catshot. The photo alone is enough to show it was suggestive in nature. Putting your PFP banner during this, in a petty period, is disgusting. After I called Ghosty out, Ghosty attempted to say it was an accident to have their banner as that and they were trying to delete it, which I don't really buy, but it's whatever. They had the photo as that anyway, so. Gorey. I have a lot to say about this one. Gorey was the most loyal and aggro follower of JB. It's obvious from the things above that they had no line they wouldn't cross whenever it came to villainizing me and talking behind my back. So, let me show you how they were complicit in JB's actions, encouraging it and slandering towards me. First up, here's the conversation between them and someone I will be calling AC.
It's about JB. I'm not exactly sure they're really a good person, but like the phightverse is supposed to be all about inclusivity and listening to everyone and shit. I'm pretty sure, but all we got are like 5-7 characters and we don't know who the hell everyone else is other than peoples who may simp for. And I remember when talking to someone, not saying their name, JB straight up made fun of an OC, because it violated the rules. I mean, sure, it violated the rules, but it doesn't really give JB an excuse to make fun of someone's OC. And then there's the borderline illegal NSFW bullshit. If JB was 18, they would have been fucked. Even if Eyes begged for it, JB still should have done it. And they know that, because Eyes is, well, a minor. That was their whole ass persona, so technically it's child porn in a sense. Also, saying it's 2024 in response to being called out doesn't make a fucking difference. The year doesn't matter when you're drawing borderline illegal shit. Sorry if it's part aggressive, it's not towards you, I just had to get it out there. And JB is, well, ignorant overall, because Solar said they had a bad feeling about JB, and hell, they're right. And JB just doesn't like Solar because of that. JB also doesn't like Cakes anymore, and planning on unfriending them from what I've heard simply because Cakes is trying to tell JB that is wrong. Which, of course, is JB just can't take criticism for the most part. He also violates his own rules and lets people he's favorited do too. He has a really bad favoriting issue. One of the rules is don't let your fighter be a species other than, you know, a fighter. Announcer some kind of other thingy, I forgot the name. Veteran is literally just a big and badder version of fighters and so on. There may be some shit I forgot because I was talking to other people about this, but I just don't think JB is all that good of a person. I'm sorry to dump this on you, but I just thought you should know because you're one of my bestest friends and JB's one of yours, I'm pretty sure. Just be safe, okay? Excuse me while I write my 7 fucking essays. How did the sun so late? What the fuck?
Announcer isn't canon, and specs are allowed. You just gotta ask perms and stuff. I know where you're coming from, though. I kept them straight right now, AC, and for why JB doesn't like Solar, it's because Solar was being rude to JB behind their back. I don't know anything much to say, AC, but I understand you're, you know, worried and stuff. I don't know anymore. For why Cakes is being unfriended by JB is because of an issue they had in DMs, which peeved JB and stuffs. Like, them saying why to every explanation JB had to something, and I don't know what I'm yapping about. There's explanations for most things. I can't defend the NSFW much. Yeah, I'm sorry, I don't have much to say, AC, and I really appreciate your concern for me.
As you can see, even though they acknowledge that JB drew porn in a Group Plus instance, they still continue to defend them. This pattern will then continue onto their talk with someone we will call Star.
It's 'cause I realized I was more shitty to them than I ever, realized. And I genuinely wanted to hear their side of all the shit since I never got 2 sides of the same coin, which I always promised I'd get since I was little, but that backfired. Cakes and I are still working it out. They haven't forgiven me fully, which is fair. But I'm just trying to get the shit sorted, and not to be known as some guilt-tripping piece of shit. I never plan on being friends with them again, to be honest. Just get the shit cleared up and get their side, since I never was able to, but I guess they were just fine with me being friends again. And with Hammer, I know you likely won't like this, but I've forgiven them for what they did to me. Apparently, them dodging questions or whatever happens a whole lot. Even when they're with dead, I guess it's just a habit of theirs. And I've told them just let me have a say in things. If they were going to talk about drama instead of just yanking me in. They understand the incident they had with me was a big misunderstanding, but I did explain what the trauma I have. I'll react a little differently to those tones of voice. I managed to clean up a lot of shit, especially with Sola, because apparently the whole faking his age thing was fucking years ago, and it's just being brought up again for some fucking reason. But I was told it was like months recent at the time, so as far as I know, he's not a pedophile at all. And the Wild the Beholder account was apparently an RPG account with several other accounts linked to it, but now has been abandoned, I think, due to Blank using it as the spy account. I don't know if you'll take this well, I just genuinely wanted to hear their side and get both sides and judge off of that, since I wasn't the greatest either, of course, to them. And I'm genuinely trying to improve myself as a person. And don't worry, if they ever hurt me again, I'm leaving their asses faster than my dad did. 'Cause I ain't dealing with the shit like that ever again. I'll be alright, I promise.
I don't know how much more I can take this, Star. Just please don't start anything or something. I don't know what to do anymore. I can't with all this. Drama and just them are so much for me to handle, Star. I don't want anything else to happen. I don't want you to feel any way towards me, Star. Just don't drag to, You do you, of course, and I support you looking at both sides of the same coin, just...
I'm not gonna start anything. I just try to stay away from whatever drama they might have happening, which to my knowledge isn't really anything at all, 'cause I don't want that either. I'm as sick of this drama as you are.
I'ma go take a break. Just don't bring them around me or mention them unless you have to.
Don't worry, I won't. Hence why I never brought him up before. Get better, fuck ass. And I forgot if it says that there were, but the fact that GB excluded things from events if they didn't get their way or whatever the fuck, plus drew syringe inappropriately without their consent, which Cakes feels nauseous about even thinking about. Not the rabbit hole one, I'm pretty sure. It was just the fully naked syringe, no genitals, but they were still uncomfy.
Star, I'm gonna be very blunt here. I'm not trying to sound like I'm a fucking dick riding the ship, but I'm pretty sure Cakes legit gave JB perms to draw shit like that with their OCs. Not NSFW, to which they didn't draw, of course, but the other shit. Not to mention Cakes would use that image of syringe rabbit hole as a thumbnail for their video, even though GB asked them not to. There are so many things, Craw. I was so fucking dumb to think this shit would just end. You go whatever side you wish, Star. I just can't do this anymore. I'ma go through with my plan, or try to. I can't deal with this anymore. Every day is a struggle.
Considering that Cakes vomits at the thought of sex and shit like that, I heavily doubt that they gave JB permission to draw stuff like that of their OC. Sorry if it sounds rude, gah.
It's fine. It's whatever.
I'm not trying to pick sides, I'm just trying to get two sides of the same coin and judge off of that. And the fact I never got the other side was shitty of me to begin with, so I'm just judging off of what I know. And now, what I know is what JB did is just...
I can't explain shit anymore. My head is killing me, and I'm in school.
It's fine, don't worry, just take a break.
I'm not gonna take no fucking break. I can't even. Each time I take a break, this shit happens.
Just try and calm down at least.
I've been trying to pay attention to my own mental issues for weeks now, and it's fucking impossible.
I'm not sure how to help.
It's fine, it's fine. It's better I end my own misery, or at least try to get something to, as holy shit, if I don't, my fucking stress will.
Just go talk to Eyes or some to calm you down, or draw whatever.
I can't draw, I can't do anything. There's nothing for me to do anymore, Star.
Look, I'm not sure how to help you now. I'm just sorry. Just talk to us as someone you trust. Find comfort in. I genuinely can't help you here.
Not asking for help, just bye.
Okay.
Lastly, we have this conversation with someone I call Rocket, where they encourage them to draw lewd art and show it to Eyes and JB.
I don't know if I should post it though, cause it's not enough of W, but it might be suggestive. I don't know. I don't understand sexual shit enough to understand, since it's, fucking bunny suit.
Show me it, dog.
The scars give me pain.
Full on ass, holy shit.
I'm sorry.
Maybe just the first one is fine. Not sure about the cake, though.
Bet, bitch. Wanna know the file name, by the way?
Sure.
Not that one, fuck. This.
Help! I thought you were gonna put Gorey, I blame you.
That's the new file name now, fuck you.
Since you're out here giving fan service and kill myself.
Yoinks you from your habitat?
Eyes wants to see the ass. Can I show them? Ask him before I showed that, in case you ain't comfy, dog.
Yeah, sure. Show me the stupid ass's reaction so I can bully him.
Alright.
They kept defending JB, wouldn't stop defending JB, and I doubt they ever will. But before we dwell on this much longer, let's just get to the elephant in the room. JovoB. I'm going to read out each screenshot here and talk about how it has affected me. These happened over a long spread of time, but I was 14 for all of it, and JB was 17 for almost all of it. Only for a few days was JB 16. So anytime before May 19th, 2024, they were 16.
Yippee, yippee.
I hope you are proud of yourself. 3 days and all I have is 9 seconds. And I have to draw this next?
Yay!
I hope you're happy, cause I ain't.
I'm happy.
Bitch, I had to draw this.
His little face, lol.
I hate you.
Yippee!
Day 6.
You got this.
Day 8.
Aw, ketchup plushie.
Day 13.
Gaze.
Animating this is gonna be the death of me.
You got this, and it looks good so far.
I hope I'll be able to finish it. It's about halfway done now, so I'm getting there slowly. I didn't put much effort into day 34 because I don't like animating this suggestive. Ball, choose one of these for me to sketch syringe in.
12. Yippee!
Never again.
All of these show encouraging me to draw sexual art. I told them I'm not comfortable with it, and then making sexual art of my characters. There are also examples of them stealing designs, but I do not believe it has a place in this video, so you'll have to look at the doc for those ones. I struggled for so long after this. I was diagnosed with short-term memory loss as a result of mental trauma, along with hallucinations and devastating nightmares. But now that I'm in a better space, I feel safe enough to talk about this. Thank you for listening to me. And one last thing before I go, JB. Happy birthday!